Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, January 11th. I'm Diane Brewer, and thanks for joining us tonight. Leading our stories, it could happen here, warn anti-whaling protesters, as a small but vociferous group of them gathered at the flagpole in Hamilton to heighten awareness of the threat that Japanese whaling and overfishing poses to the island's oceans. Gary Moreno has the story.
What they lacked in numbers, they certainly made up for in commitment, as they sought to drive home the message to the crew of the Japanese fisheries patrol boat moored in Hamilton Harbour that whaling, even for so-called scientific reasons, was unacceptable. Spokesperson for the group, naturalist Andrew Stevenson, telling us the purpose of the protest was to heighten awareness of how much of a threat the activities of the Japanese authorities posed to the ecology of the world's oceans.
They kill 1,000 whales a year. They've killed 25,000 whales since 1986 under the pretext of scientific research. And believe it, they can do it here if they want to. There's nothing to stop them. There's a loophole in the International Whaling Commission's regulations that say if you do scientific research, you can kill whales, even if that's 1,000 a year. But Japan is also overfishing, and this is one of the patrol boats that is set out to make sure that the Japanese boats do not overfish. It's like sending out the fox with the chickens.
And to hear Mr. Stevenson tell it, the situation is actually grimmer than you might think.
And they're strip mining our oceans with long lines. They're bulldozing the bottom with bottom trawlers. They've got industrial-sized whaling ships, industrial-sized fishing ships, illegal fishing, pirate fishing, vessels changing their flags of convenience within 24 hours so that they can escape detection. So right now, our oceans are being plundered. There's scientific reports that indicate in 40 years' time, the major fisheries of the world will have collapsed.
Even as the protesters gathered, the Japanese captain and his crew kept a watchful eye on the goings-on landside as police sought to keep protesters on the water side from getting too near their vessel. As the captain came ashore, we sought to find out how he felt about the accusations and criticisms against his government. So what exactly is it that you all do? No. Pardon me? Speak any English at all?
Don't speak English.
We later found out that wasn't quite true. Mr. Stevenson, meanwhile, urging that this country's government get involved to ensure migrating whales passing through Bermuda's waters do not fall victim to what the Japanese call scientific research.
What can the Bermuda government do? The first thing they can do is to raise our awareness of what's going on. Without understanding what's going on in the open oceans, we will never be able to keep control, not only of our own territorial waters, but everywhere. These are our children's assets.
In the end, Mr. Stevenson and his group sought to present the crew with a figurine of a humpback whale as a token of appreciation for Japan's not taking any humpback whales during that country's annual hunt this year. However, the gift was refused by the Japanese captain, and it was left for Mr. Stevenson's daughter to retrieve what was also meant as a token of friendship. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, the Japanese government is facing the possibility of a hefty fine for overfishing bluefin tuna in Australian waters, despite the presence there of a Japanese fisheries patrol boat like this one to ensure Japan's fishermen did not harvest more than their allotted quota of the endangered species.